So think about if you're a parent and you're not strong in any one of those areas, and now you have a high school student, college student that comes to you like, hey, Mom, I would love to learn more about investing. Can you tell me? And now you sitting there looking like, that's a good, yeah, because I'm still trying to learn. So I know as a parent, the worst thing a parent can do is to have their child approach them about a topic, any topic, right? We talking financial literacy, but any topic. If a child approaches a parent about wanting to seek knowledge about something and the parent doesn't have that information to give to a child, that's one of the worst feelings in the world as a parent, right? Because now you feel, like unequipped or you inept about something. But here's the solution. The only thing you got to say now is like, hey, heard about this great platform. It has a ton of information. Not only can you get involved, but I understand that parents can get involved as well. And you don't have to let the student know that you're also taking a course, because you all can be on two totally different tracks, just working through the information that's on the platform. So MyCollegeFinance is a digital platform. You can pull it up on your phone. You can pull it up on your laptop. You can pull it up on your desktop. And then it's self-paced courses that you work through. Now, the number one course that we have set up, the way the platform is set up, is because when you come into it, it's like walking into a house and it's like you start looking around. You say, now what? What do I do with this information? The first thing that you need to do, we have an assessment test. It's called a placement test. You take the placement test, and it's just going to ask you a series of questions just to kind of gauge where you are on your financial literacy journey, right? Nobody has to know the results. So if you get a 0 out of 10, then you just get a 0 out of 10. If you get a 1 out of 10, you get a 1 out of 10. But what it's going to do for you is going to open your eyes to where and why being a part of this platform is so important, because now the only thing that you can do is go up as far as the amount of information that you're going to get from the platform. So you take the placement exam. Once you take the placement test, we have it set up where you can download your results in a PDF form and just print it out. Now you can go back and look at the questions, look at the answer to the question, and then look at what your answer was. So now you can sit down and actually start to learn about financial literacy based on your placement exam that you took before you even start taking the courses. So I'm going to pause right there and just think about that. Now, it's a lot of people they'll watch this podcast, they'll see the replay on social media, and that'll go totally over their heads. Because why? A lot of people are struggling right now. They're saying that repossessions are at an all-time high, bankruptcies at an all-time high. The median income for most people in the country is going down. You got AI threats, meaning AI is coming into the business place and it's taking over certain jobs. So people are concerned about their income. They're also concerned about, they want to invest, but they don't know how to invest. They heard about this thing called crypto, but they're afraid of crypto because somebody told them that crypto is just Bitcoin. But the other people are like, no, it's more than Bitcoin, but you're going to lose all your money. So all of these different things are coming up where you can't hear the different things that are going on, because what you're doing is you're letting fear stop you from getting educated. Just come onto the platform. Go to MyCollegeFinance.com, take the pre-test, and when you take the pre-test, you'll find out where you are. And then after you take the pre-test, the next step is you would go to what we recommend is what we call our cornerstone course, which is called the Wealth Equation. 90 days to multiply your money power. Now, the reason you want to start there is this is the primary reason we developed it this way. Most people, when they start things, they're going to start and stop, right? They're going to start to take the course, they're going to stop. They're going to start, they're going to stop. They're going to start, they're going to stop. This course is set up for the person that has made a decision that it's time for them to improve their financial literacy overall. So you start taking this 90-day course. Why do we call it the 90-day course? Self-explanatory. If you sit down and you take this course and you spend a little time with it every day, or you say, well, I don't have time every day. Every week, on average, it's going to take you about 90 days to get through this course. Now, the cool part about this is this. Each module in this course, every time that you complete a module, guess what you're going to have? A quiz. And in that quiz, you have to get a what? You got to score an 80% on your quiz before the system will allow you to go to the next module. Now, some people say, why do you want to do that? Why are you going to make it so hard? We're not making it hard because at the same time, we want to do this. If you're learning and you're trying to get the education that we're providing to you, why wouldn't you want to learn and repeat this information and make it repetitious? Because the goal is for you to what? Not to just get through the course. The goal is for you to learn the information and do what? Put it in play. Put it in play. So if we're talking about budgets and you don't have an active household budget right now, if you don't have an active household budget, you're already behind. You losing. Plain and simple, you losing. Any corporation that you're purchasing from right now, Coca-Cola, Nike, your church, Chick-fil-A, every one of those businesses, not only do they have a budget for 2025, they've already done their budget for 2026. But we're using our money, income from, a 9-to-5, or you may be an entrepreneur, however your money comes in. But guess what? If you don't have no budget, you don't know how much your expenses are. You don't know your income. You don't know what you can leverage. You don't know how much you have to invest. You don't know how much you have to save. You don't know none of that. You just day to day just spending money. So that's a game that they want to keep you in that game because guess what? It keeps you spending and you're not paying attention to whether or not you have a deficit or a surplus. That's what a budget is really going to tell you. It's not about, some people say it tells your money where to go, but more than telling your money where to go, whenever you do a budget, and I recommend you do an annual budget, meaning that you look at 12 months of expenses, 12 months of income, and then the way you set up your budget where once you take your expenses and you subtract it from your income, it's going to, at the bottom, you can use it with Excel. They got different programs that you can use that with now. It's going to let you know whether or not you're in the red, because you hear companies just say, we're in the red. What in the red means is they have a deficit, meaning their expenses are more than their income. A lot of people are living like that right now, but guess what? They're not gonna miss the Chris Brown show. Chris Brown is coming August the 30th. They're not gonna miss Chris Brown. They not gonna miss him. They are not gonna miss Chris Brown. I'm telling you, they're not gonna miss him. But they already in a deficit. But if they was truly disciplined enough and they know they were in a deficit, guess what they would do? Chris Brown, bro, love you, love your music. I think I'm gonna have to just stick to the download from Apple. I'm gonna dance around in the house, but I can't spend them $300 to come see you at State Farm Arena. I just can't do it. $300 for the tickets, $200 for the outfit, another $100 to go out to dinner before and after. Money in the arena for drinks. So you could be out of $1,000, $1,500.